in a bid to add more passport stamps or perhaps do a visa run. Day trippers frequently flock the charming city of Colonia del Sacramento in Uruguay.
We decided to squeeze Colonia del Sacramento into our schedule because we just wanted to have more passport stamps. And above all, we wanted to have Uruguay in our travel record. It is only 1 hour away from Buenos Aires by ferry across the Rio de la Plata.
Located on the country's east coast, Colonia is just 1 hour ferry ride from Buenos Aires across the Rio de la Plata. For a brief history, Colonia del Sacramento was founded in 1680 by Manuel Lobo, governor of Rio de Janeiro, to be a Portuguese rival to Buenos Aires, directly across the Rio de la Plata. Fought over by Spain and Portugal for almost a century, changing hands 7 times between 1680 and 1778. It was known as La Manzana de la Discordia, the apple of discord. With charming cobblestone streets and odd homes with a magical mixture of architectural styles, the well-preserved urban landscape of Colonia illustrates the successful fusion of the Portuguese, Spanish, and post-colonial styles.
The city is quite authentic and a completely different feeling than in Buenos Aires, despite the fact that the two cities are separated by a river, Rio de la Plata. The easiest way to get from Buenos Aires to Colonia is by ferry.
The Buenos Aires-Colonia del Sacramento ferry route connects Argentina with Uruguay and is currently operated by 2 ferry companies. The Buick bus service runs up to 3 times per day with a sailing duration of around 1 hour and 15 minutes, while the Colonia Express service runs up to 3 times per day with a duration from 1 hour 15 minutes.
We decided to take the Colonia Express. It was just a little bit cheaper than the Buick bus. We took the 8 a.m. ferry, planning to get back to Buenos Aires by the 8 p.m. ferry. We had about 12 hours to enjoy Colonia del Sacramento. It took a bit longer to clear immigration. I don't know why.
The ferry was spacious with plenty of seats. We just needed to sit comfortably and enjoy the 1 hour ferry ride on the Rio de la Plata, one of the largest rivers in the world. We finally reached Colonia. We started our day trip from the main attraction in Colonia, which is its historic center. It is the lower part of the town and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It consists of a lot of old buildings, many from the Portuguese colonial age. It is a lovely area to wander around. The most dramatic way to enter the historic quarter is via the reconstructed 1745 City Gate. The door is supported on both sides by the remains of what was the imposing world star in the armed struggle between the Portuguese and Spanish in the founding years of Colonia del Sacramento. At its feet, you'll find a drawbridge, wood connection and heavy chains that currently serves as backdrop to photos of tourists from around the world who want to perpetuate their visit. After we enter the historic quarter, we headed to Calle de los Suspiros.
The name of the street, Calle de Suspiritos, translates in English to the Street of Sighs. This is probably Colonia's most famous street and the most photographed part of Colonia del Sacramento.
It is a short traffic-free lane leading down toward Rio de la Plata that is essentially unchanged from the 18th century, with its cobbles and central drain and single-story cottages on either side. There are two stories of how the street got its name, either because the houses along it used to be brothels, or because prisoners were brought along it before being put to death. Just 2 minutes walk from the Street of Sighs, we have the Colonia del Sacramento Lighthouse, one of the town's most prominent landmarks. Colonia's 19th century working lighthouse provides an excellent view of the old town and Rio de la Plata. It stands within the ruins of the 17th century Convento de San Francisco, just off the southeast corner of Plaza de Mayo. Over the centuries, countless ships had been guided safely by the lighthouse in Colonia del Sacramento.
The lighthouse is worth a visit, as it gives a breathtaking view of the city and Rio de la Plata.
Careful if you are claustrophobic. The spiral staircase of Colonia's historic lighthouse is narrow indeed, and you have to climb through a hatch door at the top before emerging onto a tiny circular platform.
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Yes, come on. Come on, you can do it.
At the top of the lighthouse, we could also see the two bell towers of the Basilica of the Blessed Sacrament.
The Basilica of the Blessed Sacrament, Basilica del Santisimo Sacramento, is a Roman Catholic parish church. The parish was established in 1680, being one of the oldest in the country. It was then completely rebuilt on 2 occasions, and the current Basilica of the Blessed Sacrament, dating from 1810, preserves various elements of its origin, maintaining the simple lines of its Portuguese architecture. The Basilica of the Blessed Sacrament is located in the Plaza de Armas. Plaza de Armas is Colonia's main square, and it is the true heart of the historic center. The square is really beautiful, and it's worth to spend here some time, as you can enjoy a quiet couple of minutes in the shade. From time to time, you can find here stalls with handicrafts.
took the opportunity while at the square to try some local delicacies. And it was very tasty. We really enjoyed it.
We still had plenty of time before we catch the return ferry back to Buenos Aires. We decided to wander through the streets of Colonia del Sacramento. There was an incredibly welcome sense of tranquility when compared to Buenos Aires. And you'll marvel that such a lovely, quiet, peaceful site could exist just 1 hour away from Buenos Aires. In certain places we found some benches where we could sit and rest and admire unique landscapes. Colonia is famous for its UNESCO-recognized lighthouse and Portuguese-built churches and houses, plus tranquil beaches on the Rio de la Plata. Colonia is also considered the gateway to Uruguay's gorgeous beaches and rolling landscapes.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more. Next time we are taking you to the Iguazu Falls, one of the most beautiful places on earth. You don't want to miss that. Till then, keep traveling. See you.